Hello, church family. It's Jose Zayas for your weekly update, and I've got great news to share with you. If you're watching in the email we send out, you can click the links and see it for yourself. But let's just start with Psalm 112. I'd already planned to share this, and then I just had this in my reading this morning. It says, "Praise the Lord." That's a great way to start. "Blessed are those who fear the Lord, who find great delight in his commands. Their children will be mighty in the land, and the generation of the upright will be blessed." And notice the blessing. "Wealth and riches are in their houses, and their righteousness endures forever. Even in darkness, light dawns for the upright. For those who are gracious and compassionate and righteous, good will come to those who are generous and lend freely." Man, star that one. "And conduct their affairs with justice. Surely the righteous will never be shaken. They will be remembered forever. They'll have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Their hearts are secure. They will have no fear. And in the end, they will look in triumph on their foes." And I love verse 9. "They have freely scattered their gifts to the poor, and their righteousness endures forever. Their horn will be lifted high in honor." It's talking about the blessing of living in God's way. All right, what's the good news? Well, we're a little late in getting it to you, but you'll notice we're giving our 2019 annual financial report. You say, why are you doing it now? We plan to do it in March to give you a report of what God did last year so we can rejoice and prepare for this year. And then a little COVID, a little world shut down, and we just put it on hold. But we want you to see what your generosity is doing, so you can click on the link and see the report. And I want you to click on it because in it you can see the actual other ministries and organizations that your generosity is supporting. And when I think about all that God's doing through us, it should stimulate and remind us there's blessing. God's blessing, God's favor is on those who live generously for the good of others, who lend freely to the poor. And as you and I continue to grow in generosity, we can count on God. God is going to care for us. Just a little bit of a highlight. It's not in the report, but I do the math. 28% of all of our collective giving last year went out through our share fund to share the good news with those who have yet to follow Jesus and to share the love of Jesus in practical ways. We made it a goal since day one to do 20%, which in church world is massive. But by God's grace, you and I collectively, almost 30% happened in 2019, and I feel like we're on the same trend for 2020. So rejoice in that. Just to let you know, starting in the summer, what we're going to do is instead of doing the annual report only, there'll be a monthly report in the weekly so that you know what's happening month by month, and we can celebrate all year long. Well, one other bit of news that I want to share partially. People are asking, and as I've been asking, when are we going to be able to gather together live? Now, we're always gathering, right? A lot of it's on Zoom, and a lot of it is through technology. But just so you know, our elders have met, and we've put together a very clear plan that doesn't have a date attached to it yet, but we know exactly when we hit phase 2, the steps that we're going to take to open up gatherings on Sunday live. But I just want you to know the big picture. Before that even happens, our communities, there's a plan for our communities to begin to meet live if they choose to do so. So next week, I'll share in the weekly how and what it's going to look like for communities to gather in spaces together. We have some guidelines we're asking you to follow to keep it safe and to protect everyone that may, be inadvertently spreading the coronavirus. But just so you know, there will be a plan in place so that when we hit phase 2, then we'll be able to put a date on it, okay? And so just if you're wondering, like, oh man, I'm not even ready for that, fear not. When we move to live gatherings in our space again, we will continue to live stream it. So everyone will experience the same gathering together. And if you feel like, I'm not in a space to be in a public place yet, no worries. When we go live in the building, we will still stay alive, and everything everyone experiences in the building, you can experience in real time at home. Why? We love you, and we want to help everyone experience life in Jesus. Rejoice in the generosity of the church, and I look forward to seeing you on Father's Day this Sunday, where we have a message about the heart of the Father towards us.